Dalia. At home they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Hey, no capping in my rapping, that means no lie. Catch me dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. This world never loved me, only God did. The results say you are the Father, I'm one of God's kids. All the glory is up, that's the way it go. Find me speed racing to Nineveh, where he say to go. In the on deck circle, it's God I trust. So I'm swinging with the power that left Jericho's walls crushed. He saved a wretch like me and put up a fight for me. In my dark hour, the lamp of the word shine a light on me. And now my passion for Christ is full-fledged, and I done up and added a double-edged sword to my tool shed. 66 books of non-fiction, a love letter to the world, devout believers and non-Christians. Every knee gon' bow and every tongue gon' make the confession. Let me make the suggestion. If you tried everything and everything has failed you, try the Lamb of God and the cross that he was nailed to. I bet your bottom dollar he make a difference in your existence. Get on your knees and pray until you tweak your meniscus. Ask the Lord for a spirit to abide with you and run you home safe when you let his spirit slide with you. Yeah, it's a messed up world, we need deliverance. Modern day Israelites roaming in the wilderness, but Christ in the bullpen with a lot of saves, warming up for the day he returned with a lot of praise. Amazing grace on the white stallion with the army of the Lord ready for war. Heaven's battalion, hallelujah to Yeshua, dig you out of your manure, clean you up and bless you out of your medulla. I pray you don't strike out before he cut your lights out. I pray he surround you with a few angels like Mike Trout. Take it from an ex-base runner. I ran base around my city and state for 28 summers. Was in the field, Louisville slugging. But now I'm praying for the homie swinging for the fence, still hustling. Satan keep him in the rundown. Back and forth on the prowl for the child from sun up to sundown. Only God can bring them out the dark. Take that root of evil out their heart and have them hitting life out the park. Swing on the enemy like bam bam.
I had to start off with this right here because
like that's how we coming. Straight up out the gate, like let's go.
gotta start off with a home run, baby.
I see you, boy.
I had to start off with this because we had Hugh Holler on the last show.
Yeah.
And good dude from West Virginia. You know, you wouldn't have never thought his style because it's so like East Coast.
Right.
And his style, like it's so clean. Like his voice with the beat, so clean. And I remember one of the things he talked about, which you can hear on this show on this song, is that he doesn't like to add a lot of instruments because he wants his vocal to stand out. But I think this one is one of those examples where his vocal is so clean in the song and it's not a lot going on in the beat.
Yeah.
So that's something that we talked about. But yeah, that's how we coming on this show, man.
I see it. I see it, man. Like, lyrics was just like, man, like you gonna listen to me. You know what I mean? Keep that beat simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm sure he probably would have called this like a freestyle song, you know, even though we have these talks about what a freestyle is and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this is one of them songs. I don't think it had a hook, but there was I think it kind of did have a hook. I'm not sure, but this is one of the songs where it just sounded like he just wanted to spit on and just let bars out, you know. So
yeah. No, I thought it was deep. I thought it was dope. Man, it's good dude. Good dude. You get a good chance to kind of, you know, talk to him a lot about, you know, where he came from, his life, his struggles, and, you know, just everything that made his music his music. Man, it's good to see and good to talk to good people, you know, that you know, just out here trying to make a difference. And you know, I did appreciate that about him. So man, the song, like I said, the song is hot, you know, real simple, not too much, you know, in it, you know, as far as like the track and everything. I thought production was pretty good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I just want to actually let people know, you know, that he hasn't been like putting out a lot of music, but y'all can find his music on Apple Music. Let me just bring it up real quick. You know, he does have some singles. It's probably hard to see it, but he got some singles on there.
Yeah.
And of course, his music on Spotify. Look him up on YouTube. But this was his latest single that came out this year. Home
Yeah.
Run.
When did he put that out? Like that was earlier this year, or
Yeah, June 2nd.
okay. So let me
And
ask you this: like, what do you think that artists should be putting out a song once a month,
I
or should it be like quarterly or something like that, or like is that?
I think when it comes to singles, I think artists, for some reason, I think artists should strive, especially when you're, like a new artist, you're a hungry artist, and you're trying to really um, get your music noticed. I think putting it out very often, if you could, once a month, I would try. Like that's actually what I say my goal is in the future.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know how hard that can be.
Right.
Because you have to like take the time to write, and if you're making the beats, that's even going to take more time. But if you have beats that you buy from online or somebody who produces beats for you, then it's easier. But for me, being a producer and an artist, I would try to do it, but I know it'll be hard because it takes more time.
Right. Life. Right.
But I mean, that's a good question, because maybe if that's the case, maybe I should at least be more realistic and do like once every 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, and that's realistic for you.
Yeah.
Because it gives you time to breathe and time to do life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but
yeah, I agree. I'm the 1 month, want a song a month type of person myself. I mean, while you're working on your project, you're working on a album or something like that, it does keep you relevant and not oversaturating the market and stuff like that. So gives people a chance to miss you.
Yeah, there's only one artist I know who does that too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if he's still doing it actually, but when I saw his music on YouTube and how often he was putting these singles out, I was like, okay. But Stephen the Levite, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
Yeah, he's from California, I think, but he moved to Philly, and I actually discovered him by actually going to, I think it was Shaolin or Timothy Brindle's concert in Philly.
Yeah,
and that's the first time I seen him like rap, and then I think I started looking him up, and I think I actually got like one of his first albums from somebody. But yeah, that's the first time I heard of him, and he's like, I don't know if you heard of Cross Movement. So they have
absolutely.
So they have that similar.
Absolutely. What?
If I bring them up,
Tonic, you know what I mean? Fanatic of absolutely.
So you know where I'm going. Like his lyrics was kind of like very theological.
Right.
Cross Movement. So and I saw he was putting like singles once every month, and I was like, okay, he's really going at it, and he knows how to just drop bars like lyrics. He's like a lyricist, like, and I think I truthfully think it's easier for lyricists to put out music faster.
You think so?
I think so, because
like you have artists that I mean, they're good songwriters, but not lyricists. Wouldn't you think that more creative, wouldn't you think that they would have that kind of juice? Because I know lyricism sometimes, it takes a little bit to kind of be happy. You know what I mean? Making sure your bars, are on point. You know what I mean?
Like they're perfectionists over their lyrics. I see where you're going, but at the same time, I feel like lyricists really work on their craft when it comes to writing, and they get better and better. That's how I feel about lyricists. Yeah. So I think it goes both ways. I think, they are perfectionists, but like I even just like friends I grew up with who used to rap, they would always say, man, you got to keep writing so you can get better. And I started doing that myself, and I can see what they meant. Like it was getting easier because I was writing more and more and more. But it was hard to actually start off because I was like, man, my brain's on fire trying to get these like word plays. But
Right,
I did
right.
see the development in my own lyrics when I was doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's just like a muscle. So yeah,
Yeah.
you keep it rolling because I hadn't worked written in a long time, and I feel like it take me 3 days to write a 8 bar that I'm
What,
happy with. You know what I mean? I can write it, but I mean, I might not be happy with it. You know,
what what was the last time you wrote rap lyrics? I don't even know if you want to answer that.
it's been a while, man. You know what I mean? But I'm way too much of a perfectionist, man. So
Uh,
yeah, I used to be fast with it, but I just lost that muscle over the years. You know.
yeah. I wonder who's listening. Can y'all guess how long it took? How long it's been since Victor wrote rap lyrics? I want to see what the audience have to say about that.
I don't even know, man. I kind of think I remember my last rap. It was with one of my good friends. His name was Trail Talk. He was actually one of the guests on here at one point.
Yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. He had me featured on a song, and man, that Joker took me like some days to write that. I was just like, man, because I just wasn't happy with it. I'm like, I didn't lost my, the flow part of it.
Yeah.
But before that, I don't know when it was.
Yeah. I mean, and that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you have to be frustrated and like when you're writing and your lyrics take that long, because I don't like when like I'm writing and it takes that long. Like I'd rather it be
Yeah.
quicker.
Well, I
But
mean,
at
you
the
got to
same
get into the
time,
into the vibe of it, though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you gotta feel the song. Like I know sometimes you're starting to write and you just don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like you're
Mhm,
not in the vibe, the emotion of the song. It might be like a sad song or something, but you're having a great day. You know what I mean? It's just
mhm,
like trying to get into that deep mode, or you might be going through some things, and this joker want to be hype and
mhm.
everything. I'm like, man, I'm not in the mood. You know what I mean?
So
But I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, so I was gonna ask, like, what do you think rappers like should look at, like, to know that this is it? Like after they finish writing their lyrics, what would you say would be like the top 3 things?
It's really one thing for me. You stop analyzing, and it maybe it hits your emotions.
Really?
Like it's like, man, it's like, yo, I feel this.
Yeah.
It's the same way that I look at a mix. If I'm nitpicky, if I'm still like trying to fix things, then it's not
Hmm.
done. Once I start really kind of getting into it, the vibe of how everything is just kind of flowing, and my emotions start to take over.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, yeah, this is it here. This is it here.
Okay.
So that's for me. It's always been emotion when I know that it's like, man, this the joint. But if I'm still nitpicking about certain things, then
Yeah.
nah, it's not done yet.
So I was even talking on a deeper level, but that's
Mhm.
that's above the surface answer that you gave me, which is a really
Okay. Oh, you want it
good.
deep? Okay.
No,
Fine.
no, no.
I
That's
know
a
what's
really
going
good.
there. I was
It's a
like,
really good.
okay.
It's a really
I was
good
just
answer
3 feet.
though.
I was like, oh,
No,
you serious? Okay. All right. All right.
it was a really good answer. Like you actually answered it differently than what I was thinking,
Yeah.
but it's a really good answer. Like I was thinking
Yeah.
like message. All right,
No, it's for me. I already got that.
mhm,
For me. I'm trying to make sure I stay on point and not go off and just because it's lyrically, or it feels like the flow feels like I should just vibe with the beat. No, I want to stay on the message, and so it takes me longer to 100% identify and make sure that I have the what is it, the 812 or 24, however many,
bars. Oh,
the
yeah,
bars, like I want to make sure that everything is like for real, telling my thoughts about this particular topic and not just rapping just to say I got skills. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
yeah, that's up front.
Mm,
I gotta make sure that message sticks.
yeah. But it's sad to say, I don't think a lot of rappers these days think that way. I was going to ask you, how do you think like rap has changed over time? Like, what has been their focus these days? Because you're probably not even tuned to secular rap. I'm pretty sure. Like, we're all we play is Christian rap music. But
Mhm.
if you were to hear secular rap music, I'm sure you would be surprised. I'm sure you
Yeah.
hear from the young people in
No, I
your
hear
class
it.
that you teach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm
So
on Earth.
so
I'm
so
in the
I'm
South too. You know what I mean?
so with that said, what do you think their focus is? I'm gonna tell you what I think their focus is. I think it's like the appearance of like it's more like of an apparel, which is
Okay.
I feel like I get a sense, and I say appearance is because I feel like rap artists nowadays, and I'm going away from the music. I feel like they're more interested in catching your attention with how they look. I feel like that's way up there with the lyrical part. Now, when
Yeah.
it comes to the lyric, I think it's vibes. That's what I feel like.
Okay.
They want to catch your attention with vibes. And I feel like what you're saying too, when it comes to emotion, I think they do a good job trying to catch your emotion with the vibes. But I think they're all about being vibey with their music nowadays.
Hmm. Now, I think it might be a little cultural or depending on where you are in America. You know, because I think down here it's not necessarily vibes. It's I mean, we talk more about, violence. It's about, anger, haters. It's about, girls. It's about shooting. It's about, drugs, that type of stuff. And it's a lot of people that actually we have rappers here that are now the people that become mainstream, they're no longer living this life. You know what I mean? They're no longer living the life in the streets. Now I'm from Baton Rouge, one of the most dangerous cities in America, and that's the rappers here are for real in it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have uh, studio rappers a lot. You know what I mean? Like there are some, believe me, there are some studio rappers that are out there, but largely, these folks are in they for real are living this. So our topics are a lot more the same, which is more about survival. It's about the struggle. It's about like I said, girls and sex and money and drugs, all that type of stuff. That's because that's what we see in certain parts of here. Not all parts are like that, but I mean that's why we have to be focused on our area, and what we talk about has to combat that. And it's not necessarily about dress and how I'm flossing. It's about survival. Largely, about that. So
you would say down there they're more lyrical than
no,
other. Okay.
no, they're not. It's
Okay.
actually horrible. The way people are rapping here it's about being it's more the beat than anything. You know what I mean? And flowing with the beat, make my beats harder than yours.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is harder than yours. It's like, man, I'm real out here about this. I care less how it's coming on the song. I got Uzis and AKs and that stuff. You know what I mean? Like
it's
I'm
about being tough.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly establishing dominance.
Yeah.
And that don't mess with me. It's real angry. And I want you to feel my anger. I want you to feel like I ain't one to be messed with.
That's
what? Literally what's down here. So
that's interesting. I didn't know it's like that down there. I know you talked about the beat and they wanted to really feel the music down there, but that reminds me of like the Midwest in a way, especially like Chicago, where I feel like a lot of their music in certain areas is that way, like violence.
Yeah.
And when you see it in the music video, like you see it, like they got guns up, Uzis, and they're showing it. They just talking about like murking, and they talking about getting revenge.
Right.
And I forgot, I wasn't even thinking about that part of that type of music when I brought the look, the appearance, because there are a lot of rappers who just like have that angry music.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily has to be all angry. You just got to say it in the music. Is I can't remember this rapper. I can't think of. He's out of Houston. He's a popular rapper. Can't think of his name, but he had this line. So I was a teacher at one point, and so I was teaching this class and I about music appreciation, and you know, I was showing music videos, kind of analyzing those things, you know, Christian music videos, and you know, just kind of asking stories about it. So I was playing this one video, and there was this one line in the whole song. Just one line in the whole song. God, I can't remember his name, but he said, "I'm not afraid if you kill me. I'm afraid if I kill you." You know what I mean? And
that's crazy.
That one line, got the whole class like, "Oh man, he a truth." You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's like, yo, did you actually hear what he said after that? Because after that, he was saying that, man, you have a family. You have people that need you. You need to be alive. You know, it's not about saying that, man, I'm harder than you, man. Like, you ain't gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you. It's not that. That's what they took from it. But he was really saying, like, yo, it's a shame if we in this situation in the first place. You know, like you have a family, you have a daughter, you have a wife, you know, you have a mother, you know, the people that's gonna miss you. So I'm afraid if I kill you, then they're gonna suffer, you know. But they didn't catch that. They were just so caught up on the violence and saying, I'm harder than you. It's crazy when it actually happened, and to see them react that way. And that sparked the conversation in the classroom for me to, you know, kind of, you know, get their minds right about certain things. So, but that's what their mind is about anger and dominance, you know.
That's a almost a good segue to what we're going to talk about later. In a sense,
I know where you're going.
Yeah, you know I'm going. You know, but in a sense, because there's a clip, if like people who are watching this, if you haven't heard of D1, check him out. His music is tight, it's hot.
Yeah,
and he's from down south. I forget where he's from. But he had, I'm not gonna say he had a beef, but he was on Sway's show, and he brought up the fact that he felt like Meek Mill's, Rick Ross, and Jim Jones could do better with their music. Yeah, and I guess this stemmed up from like the latest music that he heard them do, I guess. And I haven't heard the whole show with him, with D1 on Sway, in the morning, Sway Universe. Yeah, but that's what he was pretty much saying, and I'm gonna play the clip later. And then Rick Ross created a video thinking that, you know, why is he getting on him? You know, you'll see the clip later. And also Jim Jones had said something later, which I'm not going to really get into on this show, but look like you want to say something, but
no, it was you know, and I didn't know you were gonna play it, but I was gonna, you know, just tell you exactly where everything started. So
okay. You know what, so we'll get back to that, but I want to play this song by Kyle Alexander. I Could Not Lose.
Let's get it.
Review this song right here.
Yeah, I feel like I cannot lose. Yeah, I got a whole lot to prove. Yeah, that talking is cheap if you don't make no moves. Yeah, my date with my destiny's long overdue. It's long overdue. Yeah, break it down, weigh it up. I done played the background, that was long enough. Stop believing in myself and it's paying off. Wrestling with my demons and my fears, they ain't strong enough. Press through all the stress too. Success is never owned, every day that runs due. Try to talk to my critics, they are obtuse. Wanna tell you what you can't do, but they are not you. Yeah, back to back to back is how my blessings employ the mic. I'm not the one to mess with. If you can't win, I don't want your suggestions. I failed a lot that made me battle tested. I keep you in my shot to get my reps, and if he is for him, who can be against him? The only L's I take in life are lessons. The top is where I'm destined. I feel like I cannot lose. Yeah, I got a whole lot to prove. Yeah, that talking is cheap if you don't make no moves. Yeah, my date with my destiny's long overdue. It's long overdue. Yeah, Can you believe it? All the plotting and scheming and every plan they devised to see me fail was defeated. I never cheated the game, don't get it misunderstood. I humble myself and took my L silence like I should. The realest moments will always show who the fakest. You checking for the support and you finding out that it's fake it. Until they say that you're moving down the road that's meant for greatness. Now they showing fake love cause they know that you gon' make it. Never backing down and giving up, now let's run it up. Treating every day like game 7 and we turning up. I put in the time and the work so it's never luck. City on my back like a tat and we going up. You never beat him, you never stop or repeat him. I've been cooking in the kitchen so long I've been barely sleeping. Haters giving salty looks and I just turned it into season. I'ma make it even if they don't believe it. I feel like I cannot lose. Yeah, I got a whole lot to prove.
Hey, so this is Kyle Alexander, y'all. What y'all think about this song? Let us know in the chats. By the way, I didn't say this earlier, but you can always send me your music at Irregular Raps at gmail.com. So even if you're a singer, send me your music. But man, Kyle Alexander, man, he always
Hard.
delivering the hard part. Like,
Yeah.
I actually had Kyle Alexander on my show a couple years ago when I was doing Irregular Raps, and I was actually doing it at WBGR online radio station a couple years ago, and I had him in person on the show. And yeah, really, really good, cool dude, laid back, chill. And one of the things I learned about his background, which I think comes into play of why his music is so hard, is because he likes to box. Like, he likes to box. He used to play football.
Makes
So
sense.
he has that like aggressive mentality.
Yeah.
You can hear it in his music, and you can see it in the graphics here too. So he, that's his thing, like competition. I'm gonna go hard, hard or go home. So I think that plays into his music as well.
Yeah. Upbringing always brings, a specific style and stuff like that. Especially like if you listen to a certain style of rapper for a long time, you start to emulate, certain people that you digest in. You are what you eat, if you will. So
for sure. So this song right here, I don't have anything bad to say. I heard it in a car earlier, and one of the things I noticed though was that his voice was it felt very, very compressed.
That part, I was about to say that. I was about to say the same thing, and not that it's bad. It was just an interesting choice.
I think it was their decision to do it.
Yeah,
because he was going in so hard, and the type of music, like the mood of the music.
Right.
So I think they did that intentionally. That's what I think, but I don't know if everybody would like that compressed heavy depression.
That's definitely a preference type of deal, Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I had the same question. That's exactly what I was going to bring up. I don't think it was, anything like, a deal breaker type of thing. It was just more of interesting direction, interesting choice. You know what I mean? To have it that distorted, well, not distorted, but compressed to the point where, you can definitely tell that it was, and I don't know if even if it was not, then he was way too loud in the mic. And was trying to like control his, his energy. I would put it that way. So, but I can definitely see that it was, like I said, it was a choice because it was throughout the whole song, even the ad libs, all that type of stuff. So it was an interesting choice. That was all I had to say about it. It was just a question, like what made you go that direction? You know what I mean? So,
okay,
like the song though.
Yeah, what you give it? I give it a 5.
Yeah. I gotta give it a 4.
4.
I gotta give it a 4. Okay. Just because it's dope for what it is. This is more preference. You know how me and 5s are.
I know it's not going on your playlist.
Like, it's not going on my playlist. It's like, I'm sorry. I like the song.
See? Yeah.
But that's just like, but it's not average. It's above average. Average, just like an okay song is a 3. This is above average, but just not my style, that it really kind of, it's okay. I wouldn't be seeking to listen to it, like all the time, but you know what I mean?
Man,
like,
You know, man, I'm gonna change the rules on how you give the numbers through these songs. I'm gonna change the rules.
Gotta be real, man. You know
It can't be based on your playlist.
All right. Yeah, you see, look, you taking me out my game now, man. I gotta be real. All right, but that's gonna force me to be very nitpicky.
Because you know, artists, they're gonna look at you and be like, so he just going to his playlist, so that don't really mean
but you know, like songs is like, man, like classic song, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, classic songs are like, it's hard to come by. Like, everything can't be fives, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some kind of improvement. Not everything is a hit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying as far as like my playlist. It's like, man, I got to listen. I can't get away from it. It's like, man, it's stuck in my head. Yeah. And certain songs are just not there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
see what you're saying?
So it's not like, you know, like, hey, I just, you know, I don't like this song. You know, it's just like there's a classic unforgettableness about a song that, you know, and if you have a song like that, and then you have and you saying fives for everything else, where does that stand? Is that like 5? Was that a 6?
But let me ask you this: do you have every hit on your playlist?
Some of them are preferences, but not all of them. Not all of them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you get that emotion, like yo, like this is amazing. How we really for real got to, like, there's got to be a standard of, like, that's got to separate that, you know. So that's what I base my fives on. It's just like, man, is this something like that's like, man, I feel like this can change the game, or, you know, just something that, you know, is classic, you know what I mean?
Well, with that said, I give him a 4 too if I started critiquing like that.
I mean, we got like, for real, we got to separate like just a great song from, man, this is amazing.
We do.
Yeah.
We gonna have to.
And it's not average. Like I said, it's not average.
Yeah.
It's above average. Like, it's a really good song.
Right.
But I just can't put it in that tier of, man, this is like, golly, man, this can change his career. You know what I mean?
I see.
You can't put it there.
I see what you're saying. See, like, that song would go on my workout playlist. That's why I was like,
right.
Yeah, you know. And I'm calculating. I was even calculating the beat, how the beat changed up a lot of times, because I thought that was cool, whoever produced the beat. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because, you know, when we give a 5, like, you know, it's a unanimous 5. Like, it's like, this song here is just like, but it can't be like, you know, that's a great song, I'm gonna give it a 5 like that. You know, it's not. It's different categories. You know. So,
anywho,
don't at me. You know? It's above average. Man. It's not average. It's above average. You know, great job.
Got you.
You know.
Welcome to Irregular Raps, y'all. You're here with two of the. No, I'm not even going to say the most critical people, but we do like to criticize music on Irregular Raps and be honest about music, and in ways that will help artists get better. But I want to go back to the subject earlier, and maybe you can explain better before I go to this clip. But it was an issue that came up after, not really an issue, but after D1 was on Sway in the Morning, and he said that that Rick Ross, Meek Mills, and Jim Jones could do better with their music, talking about not putting in violence and all of this negative energy from their music. And that's what he was talking about on Sway in the Morning. And so there was kind of a back and forth going, not that much of a back and forth, but Rick Ross responded back, and I'm gonna play it later. But maybe you can clarify a little bit more, since I don't know, maybe you saw more of the clip.
No, I understand the situation. Okay. And you know, D1's from down here, so we kind of understand, you know, I follow him a lot, you know, as far as his career and stuff, because I know the kid and everything. So it's, you know, a long time ago. There's another story. But you know, just seeing what happened as far as that clip, because I was curious too what was going on, because I don't necessarily watch the news because it's depressing. And so, you know, I largely know what's going on as far as, like, you know, the whole mainstream, but that, because I follow, you know, D1, he literally did a shoe giveaway. I think it was Meek Mill's shoe or something. It was somebody's shoe.
Okay.
And he gave away a whole bunch of shoes simply because it had like, reform or something like that on it, like prison reform or something like that. It was like on the shoe. And so he went and got, and so he noticed that, there was a song that, they came out with that was glorifying violence.
Yeah.
Right after he didn't gave away those shoes. You know what I mean? And so he's just like, wait, hold up. So are we being, hypocrites, if you will? He didn't use those words, but he was just basically saying that. It's like, man, you saying one thing, but you're doing something else. It's like, yo, more people listen to your music than, you know what I mean? Like, than what you're doing in the community. So you're glorifying the violence, but you putting, prison reform or something on the shoe that that he was giving away. He was giving away to kids, and so it's like, yo, at one point you're trying to help the community, and in your music, your lyrics are glorifying violence.
Okay.
Something's got to give. You know what I mean? We've got to change. We can't be, how the Bible talks about blessing and cursing shouldn't come out of the same mouth.
Yeah.
Is, you got to choose, like, what do you stand for real? Because your music's saying one thing, but your lifestyle saying something else. Which is it?
That makes better sense now, because I don't think everybody gets that whole scope when they see the video.
Right.
Yeah, unless maybe you're watching the whole Sway in the morning show, then you probably will get that whole thing you just said.
Yeah.
Like, because,
and that's just listening. You know what I mean? Like listening to, like, for real, what D1 was actually saying. He wasn't talking about the, what they did in the community. It was just specifically dealing with the lyrics.
Yeah, so I will say that Rick Ross, I felt like his response was almost as if he felt as though he was coming at him like
his character.
Yeah, his character.
Mm-hmm.
And not his music. He didn't get the music part based on Rick Ross's response. And I'm not gonna play his, like, what his response was. Like, check it out later. Unless maybe you think I should, but
go look that one up.
But yeah, you'll see what we're talking about. But yeah, that's what it seemed like. And plus, I actually heard Jim Jones part. Jim Jones was actually on Sway, his response too. So they both felt as though, like, he was coming at his character.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't, like, I know Jim Jones was saying, even if he wasn't, still he was saying keep his name out of his mouth.
Right.
Like, he just did not like that. So I just think, man, it's I one of the things I was thinking about earlier too was, like, what if D1 said this to another Christian, like, rap artist instead of, like,
he did.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And
he won for real. Like, he gonna call you out.
Yeah, you answered that for me, because right before the show you talked about that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But so with that said, man, so he did that with Lecrae, right? What did he say about Lecrae? What was it?
So the whole thing about it was about the righteous and ratchet. You can't be righteous and ratchet. And he was just talking about the glorifying hip hop culture. And hip hop culture, if you look at that and compare it with the Bible, with being a Christian, being Christ-like, and Christ does not follow the what hip hop glorifies. And being ratchet, the foolishness, you saying that, hey, I'm a Christian, but don't mess with me. You know what I mean? Like, don't think that I won't come after you. But the Bible clearly says turn the other cheek. And we saying that no, vengeance is mine. You know what I mean? But the Bible says vengeance is his. He will repay. And so we are glorifying, saying that, hey, we're not to be trifled with, not to be messed with, you know what I mean? Like, but I still serve God, but don't cross me, what was that? Toby Nwigwe, he was like, try Jesus, but don't try me. That's that righteous and ratchet, type of. And so Lecrae took, I don't know if he felt the same way, like he was coming after his character, or, he was just saying, like, he's saying more of he embraces the hip hop culture, that you can not necessarily be with the hardcore foolishness, but you have to be able to stand up for yourself. Or there's certain parts of being a human that you have to stand up for yourself. And so hence, but the ratchet word is what D1 is like, yo, maybe, I don't know, maybe he was talking about use another adjective or something like that than just ratchet. You know what I mean? I know it's branding wise, it sounds great, righteous and ratchet, I think Kev on Stage had a podcast with some other fellow, and their podcast was called Righteous and Ratchet, because Kev on Stage was righteous, but the other guy was ratchet, and so it was the dynamic between that, which I thought worked. But but that's where that came from, and so it was a silent misunderstanding when it came to that. And so they talked off air, but one thing led to another, and they thought they came to an understanding. All of a sudden Lecrae came out with his clothing line called Righteous and Ratchet, and so D1 was like, yo, like, what we doing? What we doing? I thought we talked about this. What I mean?
Wow.
So,
I didn't know all about that. He came out with clothing and all.
Yeah, no, it was a thing.
That's Brandon, right? That's Brandon. Right. He did a good job branding.
Right. But literally all you heard was D1 talking about it, and you didn't really hear Lecrae, retort much, you know what I mean? But he made a big statement when he came out with that clothing line saying Righteous and Ratchet. You can look it up and it's on his site and everything too. So
that is a statement.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play a little bit of this so y'all can see what he's talking about. This is a clip from Sway in the Morning with D1. This is just a clip of him talking about they could do better.
Consider the impact of their lyrical content.
Jim Jones, you could do better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing when my best friend got killed? When Carl got killed, New Orleans know who I'm talking about. When Carl got killed, and I had to go to his funeral and read the eulogy and be part of the funeral. And I got back in my car, Sway, after the funeral, and I turned on my music, and I realized I'm listening to music that's glorifying the same stuff that just happened to my best friend. It gave me chills, and I needed that moment. That was my come to Jesus moment of like, D, you got to do something different, brother, because you have a taste for this poison, but you're attracted to the poison. And rap is great. The rap game, hip hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison.
Yeah, so that was a clip. One of my questions that I had in mind too was, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rick Ross or Jim Jones was saying, man, I would have rather him. I think it was Rick Ross. I would have rather him, call me, tell me personally. And I think maybe that's how Lecrae felt too. And maybe that's how other artists would feel. Like if somebody brings something like this up, I'd rather you call me and putting this out in the open because you put my name out there now and make me look, you making me look bad.
Right.
So I do get that part, and I wonder if, if this was the best way for D1 to express this, after hearing this,
I think because of the moment of being on Sway, sometimes we get emotional and we just like, man, forget it. I'm just gonna say it now anyway, and sometimes it depends on the motive behind it. Some people, I'm not talking, saying that this is what D1 was doing, but some people would have probably actually used that for publicity. It's like, yo, I'm giving out shoes. You know what I mean? Like you saying all that just to tell people that, you know, I'm giving out shoes and I'm in the community. I'm out here for real. But I think, you know, D1 was actually like trying to make a point.
Yeah.
You know, like for real, like this is you know, this is an issue, you know, but I get it. You know, I think it was more in the moment. I don't know. But yeah, some people do feel like, yo, you just call me, you know, let's talk about this. But you know, sometimes we don't have their number either. But
yeah, true. You gotta use social media.
You gotta use social media, you know, to kind of get it. But I mean, I don't know if it's a message or you could have messaged the guy or whatever, or, you know. But I don't know.
It's hard to get a hold of a lot of big name artists these days.
Right.
Especially on social media, they have other people doing it for them.
Yeah. Just so they don't have to deal with the foolishness. And the other thing I think they were saying was the fact that they thought that D1 was trying to go viral with their name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was using their name and he was just calling them out just to start some beef or whatever like that. But that was the furthest thing from the truth. He was just really saying that, yo, we got to do better. You know, we got to do better. If you're going to say one thing and do one thing, you know, like which one is it? You know, let's clear the air.
And it also seemed like D1 has so much respect for them, just because, you know, he starts off, especially there's another show he was on by saying, man, I love these guys so much.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if he listens to their music and he really likes their music or whatever, or he used to like their music, but I think he just has so much respect for them as artists, as people, that he really does love them. So I think that's where that comes from too.
But D has a history of calling out artists. Like one of the biggest songs that he started off with when he was, you know, down here in New Orleans, is one of his first big hits, was about 50 Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. Okay. And he was like, man, if I had a chance to sit down with them, this is what I would tell them. And each verse talked about a different artist. You know, and that literally, like, almost like that was the one that kind of put him on the map. You know, because he was just talking real to them, you know, about their lifestyle and their music and that stuff. So he definitely has a history. He ain't scared. Like, let's discuss, let's talk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you feel like more artists should do that just out of love? You know, I think you have to. No,
you gotta have it's literally you. Like, the thing about D1, it's his message to, you know, he's like for real trying to save and trying to spread Christianity, you know, a better lifestyle. You know, that's his platform, but not everybody has his vibe. You know what I mean? Like, he can do that and not get shot. You know what I mean? Because it's like, because he's been in the colleges, you know, he is who he says he is. He's for real, like I don't know. I think the Rick Ross was kind of alluding to him being Erykah Badu, you know, of rap. You know what I mean? Like the conscious person. You know what I mean? Like a common.
But I don't. Yeah.
You know. But the hair, it was the hair.
It was the hair. Because I don't even think Rick Ross knew him. Yeah. I don't even think he knew who he was. Like, he didn't really follow him. So it was the hair.
Yeah, but he's a lot more of a conscious rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
because it reminds me too of, I don't know if you remember KJ52.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how he made Dare Slim Part 1 and 2. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
You know,
he was going after him.
He went, but it's like he was saying on his song, man, I want his life to get saved. That's what it felt like the purpose was. So when you told me about what D1, the song that he created, the different artists, that's what it reminded me of. And that's what I think of too. You know, I agree with you. I don't think a lot of artists should do the same thing like D1 has been doing, but I think you have
a platform before you do that.
And you just have to be led by the Holy Spirit before it. Like, that may not be your direction in your ministry too. Like, you could be doing it out of your own
Right.
You know, your pride, and that's not good.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. But I do think pride gets in the way.
Yeah.
Through a lot of other directions, not through this direction, but I do that. At the same time, man, I think there's other Christian artists out there who possibly have that type of mission that D1 has. I don't know
100%.
the names, but I think that there needs to be more Christian rap artists to kind of go that direction.
Right. I think a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. There's a contingent of people that thought that Lecrae would be the one calling out, you know, but they were more disappointed, and this is why a lot of people. Well, a contingent of people who fell off from Lecrae was because he started, instead of like, you know, spreading Christianity like we wanted him to, he started doing like raps with, you know, with secular artists and stuff like that. It's just like, wait, hold up. And then he, you know, he also had this statement of, I'm not a Christian rapper, you know, and, you know, people just took that out of context as well and just kind of just, you know, canceled him, you know, so to speak. So
I understand people's frustration with Lecrae, but at the same time, I think people get in too deep and they don't know the whole story behind the artist, why they do certain things.
Right.
But I understand because of how Lecrae started, you know, with the Christian ideology in his music.
Right. So, and if you listen closely enough to some of the things that he says, he really does explain exactly where his mindset is.
Yeah, he always says, you know, I wrote a book. It's in my book. Everything's in my book.
Right. Go read it, but you know, people don't read. So people don't read.
It's the times we live in nowadays, man. People don't want to.
They like audiobooks.
They just, but people want things quick. People just see one thing and they think, okay, that's what it is. People see it. That's why, like the news, you see a clip of somebody. Yeah, it's not the whole story.
It ain't newspapers, all that stuff. Media knows what it's doing. It's just like if it's not interesting, then you know, most stories are boring. So they got to create a story out of it. You know what I mean?
They're giving people what they want. They're giving people what they want though. Right. So they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But
especially
man.
Anyway, let me stop. Let me get off that. Let me get off that.
I'm not even going.
Yeah, let's hop off that one.
I'm not gonna open that box. I'm not gonna open that box.
You know me, I'm a
I already know.
Yeah, man. So the next song is
we got one more song for y'all. Then we're gonna break off. So this one is by Brody Da Vinci and Jay Knight. The name of the song is Lost. Let us know what you think. The chat has been looking empty, probably because people have been like very intrigued by what we've been talking about. So they've been like, they talking about some deep stuff.
Right.
And whatever, y'all ain't fooling us.
I know I'm gonna get probably a couple phone calls after this. So what you were saying about such and such? Bring it on.
Let us know what you think about the song. Let's play it, and then we're going skedoodle.
Yeah. I could not be found if I wasn't ever lost. He hung, bled, and died, yeah, he really paid the cost. I had a list of sins and he went and took them off. And now y'all can forget who I was when I was. Jesus really the truth, let me talk. I'm blood washed, it ain't even leave a mark. That's why I rep him, he ordered every step in the walk. Then that's the reason that his extra diamonds in the cross. But let me chill with it. We ain't just rapping, dog, we really in the field with it. We left that old life alone, we ain't still with it.
Brody still strapped up like he's still with it. LOTO gang, double R, yeah, I'm still with him. Even though he saved, you really don't want to deal with him. And yeah, we real with it. Every one of us has been bought, and if you let the spirit lead, then you would never be lost. That's the facts, homie. We don't slack, homie. Yeah, we going back to back, homie. 2001, Kobe and Shaq, homie. The devil almost had me out of here. New creature, boy, I'm feeling like the rookie of the year. And it's clear that we 10 toes down in this thing. Now them haters wouldn't even last around in this thing. Grown up, you would never catch me clowning. The game was lost. Now your boy really found in this thing. Jason. I could not be found if I wasn't ever lost. He hung, bled, and died, yeah, he really paid the cost. I had a list of sins and he went and took them off. And now y'all can forget who I was when I was...
Maybe I was lost, but I ain't never lose direction. Even when I'm lost, he loved me so much, he keep blessing me. Found me in my blood and sealed the wounds that I had carved up. Crazy how this galaxy's creator got me starstruck. No longer gonna keep these bars tucked. How we paid for life with death, sin had a markup. Even on them days with Jay ain't had a Starbucks. Lotto with the cross, ain't a tree you wanna bark up. His grace overflowed the fountain, so we got joy. They only tinker with that fountain when they got coin. Get a little windy like Peter, they turn to law. Boys, all the world is made of faith and trust, but they want pixie dust. Made you from that dust, and he can turn you right back into dust. Missing when he called me out the daisies, that was out the blue. Riding with the Bible tuck, that's a mystery. Mouse Cthulhu. Treat him like a genie, looking like a bull, like a monkey. Little magic carpet ride is all he do. Whole new world, now he replaced me on the cross. When you see me, just know that he paid the cost for the loss, Brody.
I could not be found if I wasn't ever lost. He hung,
all right. I think we played this song before. I'm not sure, but
I think we did too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Go back to the other show and see our ratings.
Yeah. If you missed it, go back.
Yeah, man.
I will say this. I want to hear more from Jay Knight.
Yeah. No, he's got a voice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You need to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. My guy. Yeah, man.
All right, so we ain't got to rate. We know this.
We already did.
Yeah.
Go back and look at it. So 360, 62.
It's been that long now.
Yeah.
You're right. Hey, it's almost been a year now. I think it has. Yeah, so
we've been doing it, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, we got some people out there who want to be on the show. Let us know. We not just taking rap artists. We not just taking singers. We taking people who like the music. So if you want to be on the show and you want to review the music with us, hit my inbox. Hit me up on social media. Hit me up. Email me. irregularraps@gmail.com and let me know. And,
I'm with it. I'm with it. We're gonna have a big mob on here one day and be like, man, 3's around. I don't know. But
yeah, we're gonna have like 10 people on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know what the most you can put on this. I think it's like 5. I think that's the most.
Yeah, have them in rotation, I guess.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'll get 2 songs done.
Yeah, it would take about 25 minutes to finish one song. But anyway,
right.
All right, we out of here, y'all. Stay tuned. Be blessed. Flowing God's love.